Define me with all your words, then find me a lesson to be learned. You can brand me or burn me, and I won't let it hurt me.
Define me as what I am, and try me as just a simple man. I'm no harm to you, I'm just doing the best I can.
And if I'm defined by what I do, then what am I supposed to call you? The shadow of a broken past you abused.
And if I can stand on my 2 feet, I'll break the wall where we will meet. I'll document our combination for you.
We're starting this party tonight, where people will be undefined and love who they want when the judgment is done, and won't have to hide.
Starting this party right now, where people can shake off their doubts and send out their love as it moves through the crowd, and people can shout
that they love a man,
or they love a woman,
and no one will be judged for love, and I can't be judged for who I am. Define me with broad cliches,
but I won't undergo any hate for a stranger's mistake.
I've struggled through the boundaries of society's needs.
Now I'm not trying to please.
It's free. Define me as God's child.
I'm human, and we're all in the wild.
This earth is as much mine as yours in the end, so let's unite as friends. And if I can lie in nature's bed without the roses killing me dead, I think the earth has got a point, and we're a moving joint.
And if I can say my prayers at night, I think I'm doing something right. Let's open up a song of safety and carry through the night.
We're starting this party tonight, where people will be undefined and love who they want when the judgment is done, and won't have to hide. We're starting this party right here, where people will shake off their fear, and mass tolerance is replaced with resistance, and everyone
cheers
that they love a man, or they love a woman, and no one will be judged for love, and I can't be judged for who I am. You love a man.
We're starting this party tonight.
Love a woman.
People will be
And I will be judged for love, and I can't be judged for who I am.
Alright, so let's get this party started. Now, if you are here for the first time, Housebound is where we are all music lovers. It's a small community of world music lovers where we try to promote those who are home singers, home performers, and amateur singers. But today is a special day. When I told people a couple of weeks ago that we are going to do this special show for Pride Month, a lot of my colleagues and friends, they had so many questions, and they said, if we are going to do this show, please let us know about the struggles of the gay community, what is it like to be queer, so many things. We've tried to put in a lot in this show. So to you regulars, we'll take up your greetings and your other things which we normally have in the next show. This show is dedicated to Pride Month. We've compiled this edition from many sources, so I'm handing you over now to Pawan Dal, who is one of India's leading gay activists and a pioneer from Calcutta. And here's over to Pawan, who has basically sent us the voiceover for the first part of this program.
Hello friends, Pride greetings for the year 2020. June is considered the Pride month, and there is quite a history behind this. It was in June 1969 that New York in the US witnessed a landmark event. This was the Stonewall riots, in which the queer community of the city, possibly for the very first time, protested against police brutality. You know, in India today, we often hear about how the police harasses LGBT people. And this was pretty much the reality in the US at that time as well. So this event was something extremely spontaneous and which set off a precedent. It kind of led to protests in many other cities in the US, and then also in many other parts of the world, the Western world, and then the other countries, where queer people, queer groups, queer networks said that enough was enough, that they were not going to take police brutality, take the stigma and discrimination in society lying down. And in the year 1970, June 27, 1970 to be precise, that the first anniversary of the Stonewall riots was observed, and it was observed through a pride walk. So, beginning 1970, pride marches started taking place in different cities in the world, and they became one of the major events in the queer calendar of the year.
Look what they've done to my song, Mom. Look what they've done to my song. It's the only thing I could do half right. Now it's turning out all wrong, Mom. Look what they've done to my song. Look what they've done to my brain, Mom. Look what they've done to my brain. Well, they picked it like a chicken bone, and they think I'm half insane, Mom. Look what they've done to my brain. Wish I could find a book to live in. Wish I could find a good book. 'Cause if I could find a real good book, I'd never have to come out and look at. Look what they've done to my song.
In India, Pride marches made a debut on the 2nd of July 1999 in the city of Kolkata, when 15 people, a grand number of 15, participated in the very first Pride Walk. And this Pride Walk is also considered the very first for South Asia as well. The LGBT movement in India today it is almost 30 years old, and through the 90s, or in fact I should say even in the late 1980s, when queer people first started mobilizing themselves in the form of support groups and started publishing newsletters, they started helplines, they started having community events, community meetings, film festivals, there were anthologies that were brought out, there were books that were published, there were people even advocating for legal reform, including of course the campaign against Section 377.
Because families would kind of say, okay, we acknowledge that we must accept our child for who he is. But if it is so normal and natural, why is it illegal? Why is it seen as a criminal activity? Which always made me feel sick to my stomach.
Now, pandemics are very serious things. The HIV/AIDS pandemic was the first one which we had to deal with. The HIV/AIDS pandemic, in a way, got the Indian ostrich to pull its head out of the sand. And then what was realized was that there were literally lakhs and lakhs of people who were into non-heterosexual, consensual, intimate behavior. And so, that is one of the reasons why this draconian law called 377 had to be addressed for the sake of the health of the nation. And this gave a big boost to the LGBT movement.
In 2001, in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, police raided the offices of 2 NGOs running HIV programs with men who have sex with men and arrested 4 workers.
We were beaten publicly when we were taken to jail, and for 10 days in the beginning we were denied drinking water. They made sure that we don't get drinking water for the first 10 days. Even after those 10 days, we were denied basic amenities. For 47 days, we did not get proper cooked food. The hygiene condition was very bad. Even for the toilets, we had to take water from the drains, the filthy black waters, and all 4 of us got a lot of infections from the jail, and we were beaten every day almost.
The 4 were charged under Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code, which effectively criminalised homosexuality.
It gave a huge momentum. It brought the issue out in public. Before that, Section 377 was thought to be targeting only those people who were engaged in sex and caught having sex. But after that, it was seen as that the section can be used to harass anybody who is involved having sex, doing any kind of prevention work with these populations, community-based organization or not, but anybody can be arrested, and anybody can be harassed using this section.
Out and proud, boom boom, say it loud, boom boom. We have come too far to back down. Born this way, boom boom, here to stay, boom boom. Listen to what I have to say. I'm gonna break the silence, I'm gonna stop the violence, I'm gonna make you change your mind. You can't stop me now, no you can't pull me down. I stand up and sing for my right. Right, 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 right. Don't give up the fight.
Hey, हम भी है धाकड़, गलती तू ना कर। ये कह के कि हमें नहीं है दम, हम है कम, जाने अनजाने, जब से बेगाने, हम है दीवाने।
तारा रंग बेर जुए तारी बात छोगाड़ा तारा ओए छबीला तारा ओए रंगीला तारा रंग बेर जुए तारी बात रे छोगाड़ा तारा ओए छबीला तारा ओए रंगीला तारा रंग बेर जुए तारी बात रे
The British, when they enacted the law in the 1860s, they had a particular notion about sexuality, and they did not condone any non-heterosexual sex. So the purpose and the meaning and intent of Against the Order of Nature is to only allow heterosexual penile vaginal sex.
We are the only sexual minority which is visible. Visibility adds a lot of stigma, and that makes us the stigma and vulnerability right even from the cops, because we become an easy target. So sometimes laws like section 377, soliciting laws and other laws are used as a mere way to convict us and our community.
So even from a purely public health point of view, we need to correct the laws. Otherwise, I think we will not be able to provide those optimum level of services.
Punitive laws essentially have a chilling effect on interventions. By chilling effect, what I mean is that they create an environment where people cannot seek information. And information is key to HIV prevention. And that's where the real impediment lies.
After the Delhi High Court read down Section 377 in 2009, we had the ignominy of the Supreme Court rescinding the Delhi High Court verdict and bringing back Section 377. This happened in December 2013. And in effect, LGBT people were recriminalized. This was one of the most regressive verdicts that the Supreme Court of India has ever issued, and there was worldwide criticism against this verdict. Thankfully, the LGBT community in India was not, going to take this lying down. So the movement by 2013 had gained a lot of steam, a lot of energy, and most importantly, the movement had a huge number of allies from the field of law, from the field of medicine, from the field of mental health, education, you name it, and there were allies everywhere. And I have to mention that one of the strongest allies were actually the parents of LGBT people.
I've paid my dues time after time. I've served my sentence but committed no crime and made mistakes. I've made a few. I've had my shares and kicked in my face, but I've come through. Champions, my friend, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions.
दोस्ताना सफ़र की तरफ से मैं रेशमा आप सभी लोगों को प्राइड मंथ की बधाइयाँ देती हूँ। दोस्ताना सफ़र लगातार बिहार राज्य में वर्ष 2012, वर्ष 2017, वर्ष 2019 में प्राइड परेड की आयोजन कर चुकी है और इस वर्ष 2020 में हम वर्चुअल तरीके से भी प्रयास कर रही हैं कि हम प्राइड परेड कर पाएँ, क्योंकि हमारे वजूद के बारे में जानकारियाँ हमारे राज्य में थोड़ी कम है कि हम लेस्बियन, गे, बाइसेक्सुअल, ट्रांसजेंडर, इंटरसेक्स, क्वेयर, एसेक्सुअल, पैनसेक्सुअल एंड बहुत सारी जेंडर एंड सेक्सुअलिटी के पहचान के बारे में थोड़ी मिथ्या भाव होती है, जिसे ख़त्म करने की आवश्यकता है। और इसलिए अपने इस महामारी के घड़ी में अपने वजूद को सुरक्षित रखते हुए, अपनी ज़िंदगी को सुरक्षित रखते हुए लोगों के बीच जाना आवश्यक है। इसलिए हम लगातार प्राइड मंथ को बधाइयाँ आप लोगों को दे रही हैं और ग्रीटिंग्स कर रही है कि हम अपने वजूद के साथ लोगों के बीच में जाएं और अपनी पहचान को ज़रूर स्वीकारने की क्षमता को हम बना पाएँ, अपने आसपास ऐसा वातावरण निर्माण कर पाएँ कि ये ज़िंदगी को लोग समझें और संवेदनशील तरीके से हमारी ज़िंदगियों के बारे में सोचें। उनके जो नकारात्मक भाव हैं लेस्बियन, गे, बाइसेक्सुअल, ट्रांसजेंडर, इंटरसेक्स, क्वेयर पहचान के प्रति वो ख़त्म हो और एक कम्युनिकेशन बने समाज में कि जो सामाजिक स्वीकार्यता का स्तर है वो पारिवारिक स्वीकार्यता और सामाजिक स्वीकार्यता और एक ग्लोबल स्वीकार्यता के रूप में हर एक जगहों पे मिले और मौजूद रहे, जिससे आने वाली पीढ़ी के लिए थोड़ा अच्छा आसान सी ज़िंदगी जी पाए। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, धन्यवाद दोस्ताना सफ़र की तरफ से, शुक्रिया।
Being gay is just one part of my personality. It's not like if I identify myself as gay, then that's all about me. There is so much more about me which defines me, which makes me who I am. I used to see the videos of pride on internet. I used to have that confidence ki okay, there is nothing wrong with the way I am, and there are people out in the society who are like me, and there is nothing absurd about being who you are. Being gay is not my choice, but coming out is my choice. My first level of coming out was to come out to myself. My second level of coming out might be adding gay friends on Facebook, because there is this fear that what if other people find out that there are some gay people on your profile, and you have your cousins, you have your family, you have everyone on your Facebook, and they might ask questions, so that may be the second level of coming out, that you are adding gay people in your profile. Third would be, let's say, when people tag you in something related to LGBT, you don't untag yourself. You are confident enough that it's coming on your timeline, it's there on social media and everyone is free to see it, and you are okay with it. The fourth level of coming out can be, being okay with you being pictured in protest, or maybe like this video. Talking about parents, I mean, I have told my parents that okay, I'm working for such and such cause, but I have not told them directly that okay, I'm gay and everything. But I feel that they have this instinct and they kind of know. We run this small group called Harmless Hugs. It's now a registered body, it's a trust now, and we keep on doing events which are for community binding or which are for mass sensitization. We do flash mobs, we do queer hugs, we do film screenings, we do health campaigns, we do regular meetings. Society is not really that bad. We just need to reach out, and that's it. We just need to tell them that yes, we do exist and we are just as normal as...
कब से मैं रहा बेगुनाह सहता, मैं रहा बेजुबां कब से मैं रहा बेगुनाह सहता, मैं रहा.
We are happy and gay people in the end, so we want everyone else also to be happy and get rid of diseases like homophobia. They call us a disease, I'd rather say homophobia is a disease, and they need to get normal rather than they talk about us being normal. So the whole definition of normal, I think it's very debatable, and the entire motive of doing a flash mob is to connect with people, because dance is one medium with which everyone can connect.
हाय फ्रेंड्स, मैं मनोज पटेल. नमस्कार. सबको अपनी पहचान के साथ अपनी ज़िंदगी जीने का पूरा हक है, और आज की पहचान के लिए मैं LGBT कम्युनिटी को बहुत बहुत बधाइयाँ देता हूँ. मुझे याद है जब मैं पटना में मिस्टर फ्रैंक सर के साथ जब मैं काम करता था, तो उस दौरान मेरी मुलाकात शिवनंदा खान जी एवं दिव्या, जो अब इस दुनिया में नहीं है, मैं उनको दिल से नमन करता हूँ. उनके साथ मेरी मुलाकात आदित्य बंदोपाध्याय, लोकेश कुमार, मिस्टर आरिफ जी से हुई थी, जिन्होंने आज की पहचान के लिए काफ़ी संघर्ष किया. इनके जैसे कई और सारी हस्तियां ने मिलकर के आज के संघर्ष के लिए, आज की पहचान के लिए अपनी लड़ाइयाँ लड़ी, और उनको मिली भी. तो जहाँ चाह वहाँ राह होती है. तो मैं आप सभी को, पूरी LGBT कम्युनिटी को तहे दिल से बहुत बहुत बधाइयाँ देता हूँ. Congratulations, God bless you, you all. Thank you.
The worst thing a human can do in life is living a dual life, because you don't know when, how and where you have to react according to what. So it's difficult. So college wasn't easy at all. But yeah, if you have amazing people around you, your life's always beautiful. I and Aki, as I said, we were like amazing friends. That friendship went out to be a relationship. We started dating, and things were beautiful. But Aki always told me one thing, that dude, whatever is my sexual orientation, I will have to marry a girl, because I'm a Punjabi. My family background is very backward. My parents will never take me what I am. I turned 16. It was my 16th birthday. My dad took me out for my first drink, which was weird. Again, my dad said, now you're in college, you're obviously gonna drink and smoke, so let's have the first drink together. And I told dad that that there's something I want to tell you. It's gonna be weird, it's gonna be hard to digest, but this is what it is. I can't change. And I told him that I'm gay. A proper week he didn't talk to me. He didn't in fact come home. He went to Nasik, and when he came back with a file, and that file had papers of research. There were doctor numbers, and my dad's like, maybe this is some psychological problem which you're facing. Why don't you consult a psychiatrist for it? And I'm like, if you feel this is a disease or something which I'm suffering from, it's not. If you want to blow up some money, I'm cool with it. But this is something which I am, and I'm always gonna be. So slowly and steadily, my dad accepted me, but I even had one restriction with me. I can be what I am. I can't come out in the family, because we are Muslims, and I wouldn't say we are Muslims. We Muslims or my family, we were so forthcoming to the changes around us. But yeah, my parents being educated, being supportive, my dad took me pretty well. I was in a gay party, and that party got raided. And the worst part was, it was a New Year party. For the next 2 days, I was in police custody. We didn't even get the opportunity or rights to make one phone call to my dad. After 2 days, when my dad goes up to Jew police station, files a report about me, a missing complaint, that's when they open their mouth that I'm arrested. It was like in bulletin points in front of me, that this is what you are and you cannot be it. After that, my dad bailed me out. The bail really cost us a lot, because it wasn't only the bail, it was even giving cash to the cop who caught us. On top of that, people who couldn't afford bail and money, they were caught for a month. They were kept in police custody for a month. I never understood why. That time I wanted to kill myself, but today I regret it because I love my life. So depression is something which every gay person faces, and I believe we should just fight it instead of running from it. But don't give up, because if you give up, the people who fought for us, today we live in open India, in a free India, that thing is just losing the base. So don't give up. Let's just fight for what you are instead of giving up. Because there's nothing unnatural. Whatever there is present in this world, it is natural.
There is this dichotomy that being queer is about standing out and being your individual self. But at the same time, there's queer movement in India where you want to be a part of society at the end of the day. I'm never saying that I'm different from society. I'm saying that I have different facets to myself.
For once in my life, I have someone who needs me, someone I've needed so long. For once, unafraid, I can go where life leads me. Somehow I know I'll be strong. For once, I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I knew. For someone warm like you to make my dreams come true. For once in my life, I won't let sorrow hurt me, not like it's hurt me before. For once, I have something I know won't desert me. I'm not alone anymore. For once, I can say, this is mine, you can't take it. As long as I have love, I know I'll make it. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me. For once in my life, I won't let sorrow hurt me, not like it's hurt me before. For once, I have something I know won't desert me. I'm not alone anymore. For once, I can say, this is mine, you can't take it. As long as I live, I know I'll make it. For once in my life, I have someone who needs
Like a normal human being, even I had emotions, so I also fell in love at some point of time. Exploring my gay life, I came across this guy when I finally and madly fell in love. And things were buttery smooth, things were going good. We started living in together, we moved in together. And gradually things were, we were planning future together, but then this guy finally dumped me because he had to get married to a woman. So this was one bad experience in my relationship which, taught me a lot of things in my life. And with my mom, the equation was in a way when my boyfriend, he dumped me after 3 years, and I had to go through a lot of emotional stigma, and it was depression which I was suffering from. And then I had to call up my mom and tell her, that you can please come down to Delhi. And then she flew down to Delhi, and that is when I told her everything. I gave her a tight hug and I explained her everything, and she gave me a hug back, and she was like, don't worry, we are always there with you. Just the thing is that balance out your life, don't spoil your career or life. I received a lot of discrimination in my office. I was made to work extra. I was neglected. My boss, she was homophobic. She was straight in my face that, you gay men are promiscuous. You gay men do not have a life in this country. The question is that, when corporates, they want us to work for them, they want to slog our ass for them, why can't you accept us the way we are? Why? There has to be this justification that, that you're different from us. You can't sit with us. You can't attend a marriage party. Yes, the marriage party is the question. When a co-colleague got married, the card was given to the whole department, but you can feel the difference when the whole group is sitting and planning the marriage. But nobody came up to me to even ask me that would Palash go? Would Palash attend the marriage? No matter how hard you work, no matter how good you are to people, but it's in your face that you're gay and you're different, and it really leaves you very sad.
Hey, good girl, Sarah face. Hey, good girl, Sarah face. You, yes, you, I'm talking to you. I don't care whatever you do or say, 'cause you were never, never there. Never, never there. Don't show me your innocent face. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. 'Cause I'll put it in a song. Yes, I'll bring it down. You're hopeless, you're shapeless, you're what else I don't know. Baby, I won't come back. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. 'Cause I'll put it in a song. Yes, I'll bring it down. You're hopeless, you're shapeless, you're what else I don't know. Hey, good girl, Sarah face. Hey, good girl, Sarah face. You, yes, you, I'm talking to you. I will live my life as I want, 'cause you were never, never there. Never, never there. Don't show me your innocent face. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. 'Cause I'll put it in a song. Yes, I'll bring it down. You're hopeless, you're shapeless, you're what else I don't know. Baby, I won't come back. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. 'Cause I'll put it in a song. Yes, I'll bring it down. You're hopeless, you're shapeless, you're what else I don't know.
Insecurities arise when a person being gay is out to his or her parents. What would happen if the parents do not take it in a positive manner? The person gets disowned from the family's wealth. Parents would have this social stigma. What would the society think? And the whole thing laybacks on the child. So this is one of the major insecurities. Second insecurity that a gay man or a lesbian woman or anyone from the community would have is that he or she has the fear of being alone. What he or she doesn't get a partner who would be there throughout in his bad and good times. And the fear is always there, if that suitable person is not there in that person's life, and the person has to be alone in life. So this is one of the major insecurities again. Maybe, one day, a day would come when, you would proudly accept us, but why not just now? Today can also be the day when, you guys can accept us the way we are and let us live the life we want to.
So, what lies ahead? After 377 has gone, there is still a long rights road to travel. So, here are some voices.
I am feeling very good, but I still feel trans rights abhi tak bache hain. The fight is not over. So I feel the fight is still on. Like, we're not going to back off. No going back, never.
right now is needed, that the TG bill is quite problematic right now, so it should be corrected as soon as possible. But there are so many things and issues, one by one will come up, and then we need to cut that down thing, just like 377 has banned. So that's the thing. So one by one we need to rectify all those things.
We are no more criminals in this nation now. सर ते क्रिमिनल नाही होण्याची जी मजा असते ती अगदीच दिसून आली आहे आणि इवन वी एन्जॉयड अ लॉट. बट इतक्यात अजून सगळं संपलेलं नाहीच आहे. आता लढाई मुळात चालू झाली. आता फक्त डिक्रिमिनलायझेशन निघालं आहे. सेम मॅरेजल राईट्स बाकी आहेत, चाइल्ड अडॉप्शन बाकी आहे, सगळ्या गोष्टी अजून मुळात बाकी आहेत. तर मला वाटतं की आता एक खरी लढाईची सुरुवात झाली आहे. सो वी होप फॉर द बेस्ट. लढत आलो आहे, अगदीच लढत राहू. आणि येस, वी नीड ऑल युअर सपोर्ट.
People are finally finding the courage to step out, accept their own truth, accept truths of others, march for love. And I think more power to everyone who's taken that step.
सेक्शन 377 अब हट गया है, तो काफ़ी मतलब ऐसा फील हो रहा है कि हम उड़ने लगे अब.
आज़ादी.
आज़ादी.
I think people should actually start getting comfortable to us and accept.
It's about time India accepts its own people, and as a culture the Indian subcontinent was like that. It was very accepting.
Me, I am a boy. I wish to wear a sari, dude. It's my choice. Nobody else has a right to judge me. I live in a independent nation. I have my own rights. I have my own choice, and this is what I am. And as we say, pride for all, and pride for all. This is it.
The fight isn't over, because there is a still long road to go and so much more to do. But nevertheless, it's a good step from Supreme Court by decriminalizing sex. And we educated people, we need to step forward and put these orthodox beliefs aside, and we need to bring change in the society. I, Sagar Karandekar, I support LGBT, and I'm not ashamed to be friends with them, and neither should you.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my